Are you an established small business owner or aspiring entrepreneur? Would you like professional advice to help your business grow and succeed? Well, look no further. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is the territory's #1 resource to move your business forward. Enjoy no-cost advising, low-cost training, and technical assistance from experts in both the public and private sectors. The VI SBDC is nationally accredited and sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Visit us at our locations on St. Thomas, St. John, or St. Croix, and follow us on social media at VI SBDC. For easy access to all our training and networking events, be sure to join our newsletter and download the VI SBDC app. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, here to help your business start, grow, and succeed.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the VI SBDC's hosting of the VI Apex, the WOSB certification questions you want to ask. Today's virtual training opportunity aims to provide valuable insights and guidance to women-owned businesses preparing for the Women-Owned Small Business Certification and what it entails. Allow me to introduce today's lead presenter, VI Apex State Director, Frank Dixon. Mr. Dixon is the State Director for the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator, formerly known as VI PTAC, and has 8 years plus with the Apex Accelerator Program, formerly serving as the Connecticut State Director. Mr. Dixon is a decorated U.S. Army military veteran with 20 plus years providing senior level strategic planning, leadership, and labor management, holding numerous roles in various industries such as military, defense contracting, aerospace, automotive, manufacturing, business ownership, nonprofit, and higher education. Mr. Dixon has a formal certification in contract negotiations from the Matford Group and degrees in business administration and engineering and operations management. Here's a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed either by the presenting team directly in the chat or later during the question and answer segment. A copy of this presentation will be attached to the post survey after this event. Please take a few minutes to fill out this training survey and let us know how we are doing. Mr. Dixon, without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sharika, and good morning to everybody. Thank you again for joining us today for this most important webinar as we discuss some of the federal government set-aside socially economically disadvantaged certifications, one of the many webinars that we offer. Again, I'm honored to be associated and partnered with the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center and Sharika and her team here, as we are both co-located, and I will talk about that where we are in a minute, across the Virgin Islands territory. My name is Frank Dixon, as Sharika mentioned, and I'm the State Director for the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator. As you can see from your screen, my contact information, and I will be mentioning our contact information and webinar throughout the presentation. So at any time after the webinar, please feel free to visit our website or give us a call as we sit here today, and we're going to discuss women-owned small business certifications, questions you want to ask, and we'll get into who we are here at the Virgin Islands Apex and how we can help you move forward as a business owner. Who are we at the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator? We offer free contracting, certification, registrations, and training assistance to businesses looking to sell their products and services to the federal, state, and local governments. The Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator is funded in part by the U.S. Department of Defense, Office of Small Business Programs. We're co-located, like the Small Business Development Center, under the umbrella of the University of the Virgin Islands. There are 96 Apex Accelerator programs throughout the United States and its territories. And the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator being one of the newer ones. As Sharika mentioned, I was recently the director in Connecticut, and I moved to the Virgin Islands almost 2 years now to get the Apex Accelerator up and running to assist the businesses here in their quest in government contracting. And more importantly, the Apex Accelerators, we try to focus on the businesses in our territory. So I am focused on the businesses in the U.S. Virgin Islands territory to help you compete in the government marketplace, either federal, state, or local, any state, any local government throughout the U.S. and territories. We have multiple locations located in the territory. Our St. Thomas and St. John office is at the UVI 13D Innovation Center, down the hill from the university. But I do have a satellite office where I can meet people in St. John as well. And the St. Croix office is at 6300 Peters Rest, Suite 4. Again, we are co-located with the Small Business Development Centers for people who are more familiar with their locations. What we try to do at the Apex Accelerators, our client base is a little bit different than the Small Business Development Centers, where they focus more on business development and your financial education. We want more of a seasoned business or innovators. We want you to be for-profit, headquartered or your primary business location in the Virgin Islands. Applicable technical knowledge and capacity. We want you to be able to, for the most part, understand how to do general business virtually and be able to read through certain documents. We work with businesses with a past performance history of selling your products and services already. It's very unlikely that you would win a contract if you've never sold anything before. But we would evaluate your business and work with you, maybe advise you to work with your Small Business Development Center, your scores. If you've never sold anything before, if you don't have applicable past performance history to be able to move into the government marketplace. We need you to have a valid email address and internet. These things are very, very important. This is a virtual world. And it's very unlikely that anybody, especially on the government side, is going to pick up the phone and call you. A lot of things are done virtually, a lot of registrations, a lot of certifications. So we work with you from a hands-on perspective to be able to do that. But we need you to have those basic fundamental technical accesses to do that. And anytime you feel after the presentation that your business is ready to reach out to us here at the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator, please visit our website at www.viapex.org to fill out our application. Let's talk about some of the services that we offer with the VI Apex before we get into our actual presentation today. We offer a hands-on approach to doing business with our businesses. We will sit down with you in person or virtually and help you through contract administrations, help you review your contract proposals, find the opportunities, help you understand how to actually submit for an opportunity. And if you're awarded an opportunity, we'll help you understand what the deliverables are, so you will be in guidance with all applicable procedures and policies. Our sessions are one-on-one. You do not expire as an Apex client as long as you're actively moving forward. We'll meet you in our office. We'll meet you at your location if need be, or virtually. We help you with all databases, relevant certification databases like SAM.gov, PIEE system for payments when you're trying to get paid from the government, any state registrations, not just the Virgin Islands state. Maybe you want to do business in Texas or California, one of the counties or the state. We'll help you in any capacity in that aspect. We'll also work with you on some of your socially and economically disadvantaged certifications, like one we're going to be talking about today with Women On. We'll help you with veteran certifications, 8A hub zone. The entire Virgin Islands is a hub zone. We help you understand how to get your business certified in all of these aspects if your business meet these minimum qualifications, either by gender, by ethnicity, by location, or by veteran status. And any state certifications of disadvantaged programs, because some states have their own disadvantaged programs. So the Virgin Islands Apex is here to help you through all of those things. Some of our additional services help you understand how the subcontracting opportunities work, how to maybe not win a direct contract, but set yourself up in the appropriate spaces and be able to market yourself to be found by potential partners and understand how to reach out to those partners for potential subcontracting needs that we can help you with. Often, prime contractors or agencies will call the Apex office directly and ask, do we have clients that are registered or certified and have the capacity and capabilities to perform certain needs? I have clients now that are on sole source contracts that are no bid because I've acted as a conduit between that client and that agency, and they've worked out those contracting processes where the contracts weren't even out for bid. So those things are what we also offer from the Virgin Islands perspective, Virgin Islands Apex perspective. We help you with bid matching, find the opportunities. One of our services, we build a profile for you in our database based on your industry codes and keywords of the services and products that you offer. And those opportunities will search federal databases, state databases, based on where you want to do business. And those opportunities will come directly into your email. And then we can sit down and help you review and help you understand how to go after those opportunities. We help you put together marketing tools like a government-friendly capability statement to be able to do outreach, to be able to market yourself from a capacity. It's not a flyer, but it's a capability statement that actually focuses on your skill set, who you are, where you are, and what certifies and qualifies you to do business. We do educational training and webinars like today. We help you understand the cybersecurity piece of being eligible to do government contracting, because there are some security measures you need from a physical aspect of your facility or just some software to be able to do business in certain government spaces, and we help you understand those certifications. Also, a big thing now is foreign ownership and controlled influence FOCI requirements, meaning if you have partners that are foreign businesses, you need to understand what things you can share and what things you can't share, so you'll be in full compliance. So a suite of services that we offer at the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator at no cost to our client base. So our presentation today, we're going to focus on looking at briefly some of the government contracting certification set-aside programs, primarily from a federal standpoint. The purpose of these programs, primarily today, your woman-owned small business and your economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business. Most people understand or know about the woman-owned small business certification, but not necessarily economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business certification, which is a subset of that particular piece. We're going to talk about the eligibility requirements of both, required documentation, how to get certified and how to apply. And we're going to look at some of the agency data on who's awarding, which agencies federally are awarding contracts to women-owned small businesses and economically disadvantaged women-owned small business. We want to talk about how to market yourself and leverage your certifications as well. And then we'll get into some questions at the end. So let's talk about some of the government certifications and why they're even there. And I know we're going to focus on women certifications for today, but I briefly want to talk about some of the other certifications that are out there that you might qualify for. The SBA Office of Government Contracting, they are designed to create and maximize participation in the small disadvantaged business aspect and space. Each year, the government spends hundreds of billions of dollars on goods and services to these private firms that are certified. And they oversee some of the business procurement and small business set-asides, such as your women-owned, service-disabled veteran and veteran-owned and disadvantaged business 8A, and just small business in hub zones as well. And as you can see, these are some of the percentages that they are designed and obligated to go after and award a piece of those billions of dollars within these agencies to these particular certifications. And that's why it behooves anyone that can fit into these certifications to apply for any certifications that you have. I have businesses that have their women-owned, veteran, hub zone, 8A, and it just allows you to have so many more advantages when looking to go after contracts. Not only that, agencies and prime contractors at a certain dollar amount are required to go after small business concerns and, more importantly, business concerns with these certifications. That's why we talk about how to leverage any of these certifications and why it's so important to do so. And this slide here just breaks down the set-aside and sole source contracts and the type of small businesses and how much contracts are worth when you're looking at small business set-aside. And the agencies try to set aside contracts, especially for small businesses, first, if they can, and do so. Even though the Virgin Islands Apex and all Apexes around the U.S. and territories, we assist all businesses, not just small, but from the social economic certification standpoint, you have to be a small business concern to go after these, except, for your hub zone. Now, let's look more into the women-owned small business piece. Why, what is the purpose of the women-owned and economically disadvantaged women-owned small business aspect? And why is it important? Because for years, women-owned businesses were underrepresented of being awarded contracts in the federal government space. So they put together certain set-aside aspects and women programs under the auspices of the SBA, oversight of the SBA, to be able to do that. What does it do? It helps provide a level playing field for women businesses to compete in federal government contracts. These contracts are for goods and services in specific industries identified by your NAICS code. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, because when you're looking at women certification, is not for all businesses and not for all NAICS code or industries. It's for women-owned businesses that they're deemed underrepresented in certain industries. Some contracts are restricted further for economically disadvantaged women-owned businesses. Now, if you get an economically disadvantaged woman-owned contract certification, you can apply for women-owned small business certified. But if you're just a woman-owned small business certification, you're not eligible to go after economically disadvantaged women-owned certifications. We're going to talk about the difference and what sets that apart. As we continue on with the purpose of our WOSB certifications, joining a WOSB certification makes your business eligible to compete, right, as a certified participant. These contracts, like I said before, are called set-asides, just one type of set-aside. The WSB and EDWSB certification benefits only apply for federal contracting opportunities, not for state opportunities. Most states don't have a woman-owned, or they might have a woman type of certification, but these certifications are strictly for federal contracts. Some states will have a woman business enterprise or a minority business enterprise where women are considered minorities in those particular states. But if there's a state out there that you feel that we're qualified for it and we can go after those certifications and compete in those states, the Virgin Islands Apex is here to help you understand how to do that. And all certifications, women-owned and economically disadvantaged, are good for 3 years once you're certified. And you do an annual assertion every year, answering a few questions to ensure that. And that is done through your wsb.certified.sba.gov, which you will see that link on just about every slide throughout this presentation. So let's get off into the general eligibility requirements for the WOSB and the EDWOSB. First, you have to be a small business according to the SBA size standards. And if you're a service industry, for the most part, it's on your NAICS code and dollar amount of revenue. And if you're for a product or manufacturing producing, it's usually on your NAICS code and the number of employees that you hire and the wholesalers. And we can help you at the Virgin Islands Apex, help you understand if you are a small business concern or not. For the most part, majority of the attendees here are classified as small business if your revenue isn't over a certain dollar amount or your employees aren't over a certain dollar amount. Usually your employee status is usually 500 or below. If you're a wholesaler, construction, manufacturer, things of that nature. You have to be 51% owner and controlled by women. This is a must. If you're one woman, you have to be 51% owned and controlled. Run the day-to-day operations. Because when you're applying, or if you're three people in a business, 51% of that business must be owned and controlled without being voted out. You must have 51% ownership to be eligible to go after either one of these certifications. We would want the woman to run the day-to-day operations, right? And make the long-term decisions. And ensure, once again, your NAICS codes fall within the guidelines of that status. And when you receive these slides later, all these links that are in red are live. So if you click on it, or if you reach out to us at the Virgin Islands Apex, I can work with you to understand if your industry codes, service and products you produce fall within that. And we're going to get into more details of the requirements and documentation a little bit later on in the slide. These are just the general eligibility requirements. Now, let's get off into the economically disadvantaged women-owned small business certification and some of the eligibility requirements. You must meet all the requirements of the women-owned small business, be owned and controlled by one or more women, each with a personal net worth of less than $850,000, owned and controlled by one or more women, each with $450,000 or less in adjusted gross income average over the previous 3 years, and 6.5 million or less in personal assets. And that's going to be proven by uploading certain financial documentations when you're going after your EDWOSB, right? And as we will see a little bit later, there's a simple application to go in and apply, and we'll look at those aspects a little bit later. And again, the Virgin Islands Apex is here to hand walk you through all of this at no cost. Some of the required documents. Number one, you must be active in sam.gov, right? Have a profile, have a UEI and cage code. Proof that you're 51% owned and controlled by a U.S. citizen. And these documents are going to have to be uploaded, either your birth certificate or a certificate of naturalization, unexpired passport, or any type of U.S. form, FS 240. Woman-owned ownership, you're going to go into sam.gov and you're going to make sure you're choosing the applicable aspects of that to say that I'm woman-owned or your ethnicity status and things of that nature. You're going to have to prove your business structure, right? Your LLC, partnership, LLC, corporation, or et cetera. And these are documents that you're going to have. And any other certifications. So if you're already going after your 8A, you already have built a certain profile, which some of those documents can be used as well. And any EDWOSB financial documentation that will be required. And if you notice the link, the applying to WSB, EDWSB link, which is live, it will show you the exact documentation you'll need based on your business structure and any other aspects of that. Right. Now, let's talk about how to get started. Right. First, I want you to do is contact the VI Apex Accelerator. That's the first thing I'd love you to do, like for you to do and come in so we can assist you in this manner. But just for purposes of training and education, we need you to register in SAM.gov, have an active registration in SAM, ensure your profile has been accurately updated within the last 12 months. Why is that important? Because when you start the process now usually takes somewhere between 6 months. It used to be a self-certification. Now the application for WSB, EDWSB, is being reviewed by SBA employees, 8A or WSB people assigned to those sections, and they're looking at your application online to ensure. So it's a resource kind of a thing. So if you start your application in January, it's possible they might not look at it until March. Now, if your SAM.gov profile has expired by the time they look at it, then they're going to put a hold on that. So that's why you want to make sure that when you start the application that your SAM profile is updated. Once you update it, it extends it 12 months. It's very important that you do that. And if you're not familiar with how to update your SAM.gov profile, please contact us here at VI Apex, and we'll hand walk you through on updating that as well. So, and also in SAM.gov, you want to make sure that you set your profile to all awards and not limited to loans and grants. Loans and grants are usually for your nonprofit aspects of that. Because SAM.gov is not only for-profit businesses, it's where any nonprofits, university, anyone's going after grants or loans go in as well to set up a profile. So you want to make sure that all these things are set up appropriately when you're going in there to do that. After that, of course, you want to create your SBA account. And if you see to the right, the WOSB.certified.sba.gov is where you would go to start your actual profile in SBA Connect to be able to do that. You want to make sure you enter your legal name into SBA Connect profile. Everything should match up when you're applying for any of these set-aside programs, that what it appears in SAM.gov. Right. And we also want to make sure that when you're applying, that the NAICS code that you're putting in, because it will ask you to put in your NAICS codes, that these NAICS code are within the NAICS codes that fits within the NAICS code for your WOSB or EDWSB certifications, because all NAICS codes for WSB might not be the same for EDWSB, right? And we can give you more education and training on that as a Apex Accelerator client. Right. So when you're getting into WSB certified at SBA.gov and you're setting up your profile, it's going to ask you to enter your UEI or EIN, your tax ID, and it used to ask for your MPIN. I don't think it does that anymore. And that will start the process of the application. So you want to make sure you know what your UEI number is. You want to make sure you know what your tax ID number is, the same that you have in SAM.gov, because what it does is it cross-references with SAM. And the majority ownership is designated to be claimed for your business, right? When we're looking through that process. And if you see here the link at the bottom, it will take you directly to the WSB certified.gov website to be able to do that. So I reiterate, at any given time, any aspects of that, please visit us at virginislandsapex.org to walk you through this or get more information. Now, let's look at some of the federal agencies that are spearheading awarding contracts to women who are certified as WSB and EDWSB. And if you can see here by the graph, of course, the Department of Defense is leading the way over the past 2 years. FY23 and 22 would have awarded over $1 billion to just women certified businesses alone. And these are also sole source contracts, where these contracts aren't even out for bid, where contracting officers have just made a decision that they've formed a relationship with these women-owned small businesses that are certified and awarded them the contracts. They can do that based on various justifications. You have your Department of Commerce, Department of Homeland Security. These are the major agencies. We're also going to look at the sub-agencies within these agencies. And these are not all the government agencies, just some of your top agencies. And why is this important that I'm showing this? So you can make efficient, productive decisions to maybe go and look and see which agencies, which with the most money, are awarding contracts to certified women-owned and economically disadvantaged-owned businesses, and just sole source contracts. I've had agencies award some of my clients here in the Virgin Islands already with sole source and no bid contracts, the justifications. All right, your General Service Administrations, Department of Interior, Homeland and Urban Housing. So these are some of the markets that are awarding millions and millions of dollars to just certified women-owned businesses. Now let's look at some of the sub-agencies that are under these major agencies. Say you take the Department of the Army, which is awarded over the past 2 years, close to $500 million, which is under the Department of Defense, of course, to women-owned small businesses in various capacities. It could be contracting, IT, apparel, any aspects of that. So I can help you delve down into what particular product and services they're actually purchasing. I can go into the databases and educate and train you on which agencies are leading the way and which contracting offices are leading the way. Where we're looking at the Department of the Army, there are various contracting offices that might be awarding more. And then I can help you from the Virgin Islands Apex be able to spearhead and reach out to these contracting offices to let them know you're here and who you are, and whether you're 8A or Hub Zone or women-owned. We act as that conduit for you into these various spaces. Other sub-agencies that are awarding, leading the way in awarding to certified women-owned and economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses. Department of Education, Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Federal Aviation Administration, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, right? Now, we are going to get to questions at the end, and I think Sharika is going to help me with those questions. So let's talk about that capability statement that I spoke of when we talk about the government-friendly and how to use this capability statement. We have templates here at the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator. We worked our client base to put together, right? This is not a resume. This is a capability statement that's used as a marketing tool to introduce your company, right, in various capacities. And what this statement does, you might have a commercial statement, capability statement, but we help you put together a government-friendly capability statement that identifies your products and services. It gives a snapshot of, you know, what you sell, who you sell it to, where you sell it, your certifications, any social economically disadvantaged certifications, your product codes, past performance history, good, clean, measurable capability statement that might be used at trade shows. It could be used in emails when we help you understand how to do outreach. We help you put together an elevator pitch email to send your capability statement off. Or it might be used when it might be asked for when you're submitting and responding to opportunities. So we have these templates. We will help you refine it. We'll help you structure the content to be able to be used as a good marketing tool for your business. And we also keep your capability statement here, because when other companies are asking us for businesses, we'll already have your capability statement on file and we want to share, but we don't share your capability statement unless we discuss that with you first as a client. Again, the capability statement can be used as a marketing tool. It highlights your services and products. It helps you solicit to potential partnerships and for subcontracting opportunities. And we help you understand how to find those potential partners. We help you find who's winning in your industry. And how do we reach out to these people to let them know who you are and where you're located and what set aside certifications you might have. It helps you leverage your certifications and help you understand how to do outreach. This is not a resume. We're not putting together your life history of your business. It's a good snapshot of who you are, what you do, where you've been, what differentiates you, your business, and past performance history. And we have these templates. We help understand how to do that. All right. So I know we've gone through this, from a 360-degree, a 10,000-foot perspective, but that's what training and webinars are for at any given time. And we want to put the contact information on our screen for you to be able to reach out to us at VI Apex Accelerator for the WOSB and EDWSB certifications and any other certifications or any aspect of doing business in the government space. So, Tariq, I'm going to open up for any questions that we might have from our attendees today, if they want to ask any questions before we move forward.
Okay, so at this time, if you have a question, you can place it directly in the chat or you can raise your hand and we'll give you the opportunity by unmuting your mic. I just want to ask persons who are here and you have your business name or me or someone's mom as your name, please direct message me your actual name so you can be able to receive a copy of this presentation after, as well as the survey that lets us know how we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead to Amy, who had her hand raised first, and then we'll go ahead and flow to the other questions.
Okay. Amy, are you there? Oh, she says she can't unmute.
Okay, I am here. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Amy and I'm on St. Croix. My question was, I may have missed it, but for these certifications, does it apply to only for-profit business, or can it apply to nonprofit organizations?
The set-asides are for-profit business structures, Amy, i.e. LLCs, corporations, those type of entities.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Good morning, Mr. Dixon.
Good morning.
Question: if a company is registered, say in New Jersey, but they have gotten a business license in the Virgin Islands as a foreign for-profit LLC or corporation, can they work with the VI Apex?
Yes, because you're technically still a part of the U.S. So yes, and if you have registered here in the territory, boots on the ground, I'm not going to not work with you. I will refer you to your New Jersey Virgin Islands Apex, because they can also help you do business in the Virgin Islands. They'll pick up the phone and call me, just like I'll pick up the phone and call my colleagues in New Jersey to get the details of how to do business in New Jersey. We just try to ensure that you're working with your territory via Apex, because we have a reporting matrix that we send up and we try not to double count. But I would be more than happy to work with any business that is registered down here and looking to do business down here in the territory. So yes.
Thank you.
Okay, before we go to the next raised hand, we had a question in the chat. Can you reiterate the difference between the WSB and EDWSB certifications?
Sure. So the WOSB, the Women-Owned Small Business Certification, and the EDWOSB is mostly separated by dollar and revenue amounts, because it's a net worth. They don't want your net worth to be over $6.5 million. They don't want your gross income, I believe, to be over certain $650,000. I'm sorry, 6.5 million for the assets, and gross income over a certain dollar amount. So that's the difference between the WOSB and the EDWSB, because you can have a woman-owned small business who classified as small that could be making 15 million revenue, 20 million revenue, right? Depending on their NAICS codes. Where the economically disadvantaged is for businesses that are not at that particular level of revenue for their businesses. So that's the difference. It's based on the revenue of the business and the net assets of the owners, the women owners.
Okay, thank you for that. So City of Refuge Worship Center, you're up next. Can you identify yourself, please?
Yes, good. What is it? Afternoon, morning still? Yeah, good morning. This is Mona Barnes. I had kind of a challenge to get on initially, so I had to go around and go through the church. My question becomes, and I don't know if I missed it because I came on a few minutes late. How do we, what do we need to do to set up an appointment to speak with someone in your office?
Good question. If you can see my screen, please visit www.viapex.org. That's VIAPEX.org. When you go to the website, you'll see a button. It'll say apply for assistance. And then you'll fill out the application. You'll create a profile, fill out the application, and fill out all fields. And it's going to ask you your business characteristics type of questions. And then within 24 to 48 hours, myself or one of my counselors will reach out to you to set up an appointment and learn more about your business and our services and where you're looking to go in government contracts or certifications.
No, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Natalia Munoz, and I wanted to know when is the start of the WOSB certification training in terms of starting taking classes and all of that.
So we work with clients who have registered in our database, and we work with you on a one-on-one basis to help you move forward in government contracting as a whole. And as a part of that, WOSB certification is something we assist you with.
Okay.
Right? This is not a seminar or webinar. We're one-on-one working with you forever, as long as you're an active client of ours. This is not a class or a two-session training. We're like your consultant advisors if you're one of our clients.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, this is Maxine Fredericks. Can you hear me?
Maxine, we actually have one in the chat, and the question.
I'm sorry. Okay, no problem. I couldn't see it because I'm on my phone, but I do have a question later. Thank you.
So we have one, if registered abroad in the Virgin Islands and Georgia, would all of the registrations like SAM, et cetera, and certifications need to be duplicated?
So SAM.gov is a federal registration. So with federal contracts, it's not geographically bound to a state. So if you are a certified economically disadvantaged woman-owned business or a woman-owned business or 8A or HubZone, or just registered in SAM.gov to do business with the federal government, you can go after a contract in Alaska if you want. SAM.gov is a federal database. Right. So if you are registered in SAM.gov, and if any state requires you to be in SAM.gov, you're already in SAM.gov. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. That does answer the question.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and call on you, Ms. Fredericks. I know you're probably blindsided, but you can go ahead and ask your question directly.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to thank you, Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, as well as the Apex Accelerator for this wonderful, wonderful program. It has been very, very beneficial to me because I have a business registered here in the Virgin Islands and one in the States. And my Apex counselor, Mr. Carl Scott, has been just top notch. So I just want to let you know, Mr. Dixon and Virgin Islands Business Development Center, is that yesterday for one of my clients, I was able to secure my second federal contract. So I'm really, really excited.
Congratulations.
Really excited yes, to even do more. So that's what I wanted to be able to share with you. Thank you.
And thank you for that. Hey, I know Sharika and Mayor Joe and all the team at the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, myself, we never get tired of kudos. So keep them coming. Also, I've only been here a little less than 2 years now. And last year alone, our client base has won close to $12 million in federal and state contracts and subcontract awards. So just to give you guys an idea of context of the businesses we're helping and helping them achieve their federal contracting goals.
Okay, I do believe we have another question. Anyone else?
Mr. Dixon, could you repeat what you said in reference to the renewal of the recertification is good for 3 years, and then you have to do an annual? I didn't get that word that you mentioned.
Assertation, meaning they're going to ask you to just go in and reaffirm that you're still in business, things of that nature. You should get a notification from them, because even though it's good for 3 years, they just want to make sure that they might ask for updated form of licenses or things of that nature, right? That's all it is. But you don't have to fully reapply again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And outside of some of the other documents that are required, they're going to ask for your resume as well as a business owner. So just your resume in general. That's just another document, which is no big deal. But all the documents can be found at, the links, or just reaching out to us here at the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator, because we'll hand walk you through the entire process.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I see a question in the chat. What are office hours? Do we have to come in person after making an appointment, or are services offered online?
So our office hours are usually 8:30 to 4:30, but appointments will be made based on the availability of the counselor and your availability. We work with our clients' schedule. And if we need to go past those office hours a little bit, depending on the client's need, the counselor might be able to work with you on that. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. It's usually Monday through Friday.
Okay, I had one more question, I think. I noticed an article on the Source a couple days ago about the government having fragmented websites and high costs and so on that's plaguing their online presence. How would how would, or if you would, the VI Apex be able to facilitate getting those types of contracts?
The government, mean the federal government or the local government?
It's about, the article states that it's about the VI government.
And you're asking, how would we assist you find ways to help them with their virtual challenges and website challenges as a
Correct.
contractor?
Correct.
We would just go into the DPP contracting portal, or I would assist you be able to reach out to whoever is spearheading those particular projects and see if it's out for bid or not. It would just be our general process. But just like any agency, we would, the Virgin Islands Apex would assist you find who, what, when, where is spearheading those particular contracts and be able to help you find out where to best do the outreach. And it's not just this government. If you found an opportunity with Vermont or Colorado government, state government, we assist in any government capacity. City of Atlanta, City of Houston, any government capacity or subcontract or any public money, we'll work with you to be able to go after any type of open opportunity.
Understood. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I know that lots of people have resumes, but they have not updated them. And there are many business owners who do not think because they're business owners, they need a resume, and that they have, lots of them have many skills that they don't even realize that should or can be placed on their resume. Do you have services that assist persons with such a skill, or do you have some way of pointing them? Because I think that would be a very useful thing to offer to especially women in business, because a lot of times we do not think of ourselves as such, and we do not put everything on our resumes if we do have one that's active.
Thank you for that question. That is not a service that we provide at the Virgin Islands Apex. I would defer that to Sharika or Mary Jo, if you guys want to chime in on that.
So I heard Vanessa's question, and I'm wondering, because she's talking in terms of a small business owner, if she's referring to a capability statement that would identify what the business is capable of doing.
No, when you're going after the WSB, EDWs, they want the actual the woman owner's resume. Because what it does, it says maybe you have skill sets or education or something that assures them in some way that you have the capacity to be able to even run this business or associate this business. You know, that's all it is. Most of the time, they're not going to deny your certification because of your resume. They do want to be able to gauge maybe some technical skills or education or something of that nature that helps them in their decision making. The capability statement is for the business. The resume is for the owner.
Okay. So maybe Mary Jo can chime in as a SBDC advisor and us providing that service. Mary Jo?
I have worked with people on their resumes. I'm not sure if that's technically one of the areas that the SBDC is supposed to work on, but I have assisted people with their resumes. And I will find out from our director if that's technically one of those areas we can assist the business owners with.
Thank you, because personally, I have a very long resume, and I'm speaking for myself. And I know a lot of times with when working with certain businesses, you have to scale your resume to that business. and you do not want to be mentioning something that is not applicable to the situation. So that's basically my question. Would it be a service that SBDC offers? And yes, Mary Jo, that would be very helpful if you could find that out, because I'm sure there are many females business owners out there who have many skills which their business which they don't see as a skill that they can put on a resume, but it possibly is.
Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's great to be able to do that. Just I wouldn't I wouldn't hold up moving forward from that aspect. Even if you are applying and putting your resume in place, and you say, hey, Frank, does this document whatever? I'll briefly look at your resume, you know, from that standpoint. We're not here to help you create your resume, but I will briefly review it, you know, if I'm assisting you upload it. So.
Okay, so while we wait for questions, let me just mention again that a copy of today's presentation will be attached. It will be sent via email, and there will also be a post survey for you guys to fill out. I have 2 persons in attendance. I don't necessarily know your actual name, someone appearing as me, and I believe I have someone appearing as risk management. I just want to make sure that you don't get left out of the loop, and we make sure we get this information to you. So you can send me a direct message with your actual name so I can ensure that you get a copy. Also, I noted in the chat that Conchal Media LLC assists with preparing business capability statements as well as resume development for 1 or multiple pages. And the email address conchalmedia@gmail.com is there directly in the chat for you to grab if you need assistance. So I don't see any more questions as of right now. So it's safe to say that the VI SBDC has so much more in store for the US VI small business community. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org. Download the VI SBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Business, and subscribe to the VI SBDC YouTube channel for new uploads of our on-demand webinars. Right now, on demand, we have our financial literacy series. Please take a look at that and make sure you can watch at your leisure. So it can be any time of day. Go ahead and sign up, put in your login information, watch the presentation, and just send us an email if you want a copy of the actual presentation or any attachments that comes with that. VI Apex will be back on May 30th, and they're going to be presenting on responding to RFPs, RFIs, and RFQs. And on June 4th, we have SBA, and they'll be presenting an Ascent for Women Entrepreneurs program. So that's another program for women entrepreneurs that the SBA have. If you want to register for that, go ahead. I don't see any questions as I continue to speak. So once again, I would like to encourage you to check your email after this training. Let us know how we are doing, and a copy of today's presentation would be attached. VI Apex, we thank you so much for collaborating with us on this initiative. Thank you everyone for your time, and on behalf of the entire VI SBDC network, have a great day.
Thank you.